While officials in Tucson are talking about how to handle migrants when they show up here, experts in Washington were talking about the larger question of U.S. and Mexican cooperation on the issue of immigration.
Julian was at that discussion this morning and brings us the story live from our Washington bureau.
Experts on the American Enterprise Institute panel acknowledge a long list of problems related to immigration. There are solutions, they say, if lawmakers can discuss options rationally rather than politically. Former Mexican Ambassador Jerónimo Gutiérrez said the concerns about immigration are not just on this side of the border.
It's certainly an issue that it's charged politically in Mexico, in the United States, and certainly in Arizona. But I think that today's session just highlights that it's possible to have rational discussions about how to improve the way the United States and Mexico manage immigration.
But that it takes dialogue, not just between the countries, but between lawmakers in Washington, says Marc Thiessen, a former speechwriter for President George W. Bush.
What I would tell the ambassador is if you want to turn off the magnet over here, you need to talk to Nancy Pelosi, not Chuck Schumer, because that's where the holdup is.
And Thiessen says the Democratic leaders aren't the only ones who need to bend.
If you listen to some of these folks on the far right of the immigration issue, they're really worried that Donald Trump would cut a deal with Nancy Pelosi for a wall in exchange for that kind of legalization.
While there's much the two countries could do, Migration Policy Institute President Andrew Selly says there are some things the U.S. needs to fix on its own.
I think the biggest question is how do we fix our asylum system? Right now we have an asylum system that neither gives protection to people who are fleeing for their lives, nor does it return people to their home countries who don't have a strong asylum claim.
Until that is fixed, it will continue to be an issue in border communities, he said, highlighting Yuma.
Arizona has been a major place for migration from Central America. We've seen huge surge in Yuma, for example, and it has become one of the destinations along with the Rio Grande Valley and the El Paso, Ciudad Juarez area.
Gutierrez said Mexico has been enforcing its own migration laws to reduce migration from Central America. But that's just one part of the solution that will take collaboration from both the U.S. and Mexico.
We need more and better avenues for legal migration to take place. We certainly need to address the fact that there's a lot of people that are, fleeing their countries for valid reasons, request asylum. And I think that it's possible for Mexico and the U.S. to work together on this.
President Donald Trump credited Mexico over the weekend for a drop in the number of migrants reaching the U.S. border. But he also warned that immigration and customs enforcement sweeps of immigrants here illegally will start fairly soon. In Washington, Julian, Cronkite News.